Money Moves with Myth 2.0, the podcast. And always remember, gentlemen, it's a motherfucking movie. So today we got a video about a 40-year-old modern woman who has been laid off from her six-figure job. And the name of my reaction is what's next after this? For people who may be going through the same thing, we're gonna be reacting and giving our own personal perspectives on, what's next. But let's hop straight into the content, guys. I mean, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and let's get it.
As a result of this change, we've essentially relooked at the business, and as a result of it, essentially, your position is essentially no longer required.
Okay. Thank you. Hey guys, how you doing? As you could tell from the title of this video, I was recently laid off from my job. And while I have mixed feelings and mixed emotions regarding that, what I'm not feeling is sad. To give a high-level overview of why I was laid off, my department was going through some restructuring, and it was determined by leadership that my position was no longer needed. I had been with the organization for over 3.5 years. The majority of that time, I had been the only employee in my department, and I really thought that I would be with them for at least another 3 years. But life has a way of altering your plans without you really knowing that that's going to be a thing. Again, I'm not sad. I'm relieved. I am kind of excited that I now have all of this time to myself to figure out what it is that I want to do going forward. This is not my first rodeo with being laid off. I've been laid off before in the past, probably over 10 years ago. The difference between now and then is that at that time I was not as financially stable. And so I rushed.
Okay, guys, let's get into the breakdown. Just fast here. So basically, she said the first time she got laid off was 10 years ago, and I'm pretty sure that job that she was working 10 years ago wasn't a job that was paying $100,000 a year, a six-figure job. Um, and now, she's been working. She said she's been working for 3 years, and the job happens to let you go. Um, and my question is, what's next? Like, if you come from making a six-figure salary or and such, and now you're heading back to a job market where people really is trying to get labor done and trying to pay employees as less as possible. So a lot of times, like when you get these high paying jobs, if you're not really skill set or really like needed in the industry, then it'd be hard for you to get another job like that. So what's next, guys? Let's hit the comments and let's keep it moving.
Into getting back into the workforce as soon as I possibly could. I was stressed, constantly applying for jobs, running myself ragged, trying to get back to work without really sitting with myself and thinking and being more strategic about what I wanted to do. I was just looking for anything to get back to work so that I could have some income coming in. This time around, I'm a little bit older, I'm a little bit more wiser, and I'm a bit more financially secure. I'm thankful that my organization thought enough of me to provide me with a severance package. So that is definitely going to help tide me over for a while. I also have some money in savings that will also help extend that severance package if necessary. I would like to be back to work within 3 months. And I want to enjoy this time that
Can anybody hit the comments and let me know what a severance package is? I never had one of those. Um, but if anybody can let me know what that means, then hit the comments. If you know, you know. And for everybody who don't know what it is, you'll be helping them out as well.
I have off, but I would like to be back to work within 3 months. I don't know if that's going to happen or how possible that is, given that we are in this really challenging time in our economy and in our job market. It is not easy right now for a lot of people. And this is not the time to be unemployed. Absolutely not. I know that, I acknowledge that, but at the same time, I truly, truly believe that things are going to work out for my best self. I truly believe that. I don't want to talk about what my word of the year was.
You see, and that's where a lot of people, you know, a lot of people have high hopes in themselves, and they think that things are gonna be waterfalls, and they're just gonna get back out here and they're gonna get the same type of job that they had. But 9 times out of 10, in reality, a lot of times people have to go back from making six figures, six-figure salary, high six-figure salary, multi-million-dollar salary, to going back to working a minimum income. You know, a lot of people go back because a lot of jobs that they want are not hiring, and there a lot of people are cutting back. You know, everybody's holding on to their dollars, and you know, it's very difficult. It's not easy the way she thinks it's gonna be easy. Maybe God might open some doors for, but you know, um, maybe we'll get an updated video. But let's keep it moving.
That I set for um, the beginning of the year, but I'll go ahead and talk about it. We're being transparent today. The word that I selected for myself at the beginning of this year was favored. I will be favored. I truly believe that. I have no doubt in my mind that this layoff was one of the best things to happen to me this year. And one of the things that I have come to learn as I've gotten older is that a lot of times your perspective and how you approach situations really does determine the type of outcome that you're going to have, right? Perspective is everything. They say it's not what happens to you, it's how you respond to it, right? And it took me a long time to get that.
Okay, guys. So let's put ourselves in her mindset. So she says she's favored, and it's all about how you perceive things, which I totally agree with. But as well, um, guys, what are some things that most people get when they make a six-figure job? You know, this is the most money you probably have ever made in your lifetime. You know, um, and most people have bills that they acquire while they was working this job. You know, a lot of people decided to get a mortgage at 35 or something like that. You know, a new car. So now, depending on how her finances is set up, like maybe she can bounce back by, even if she had to go back and work a job that was paying 50K a year, you know, maybe she still will be able to afford the lifestyle she was living if she budgets the right way. But let's see what else she's talking about.
And I finally think I've gotten that lesson. And so I am taking this situation and applying a sense of gratitude. Gratitude that I now have more time for myself. I have time to rest. I have time to think and tap back into my creativity. I have time to think about what's next for me instead of just rushing back into the job market. I have time to be a little bit more strategic about, do I want to pivot in my industry? Do I want to try a different industry altogether? Do I want to?
You see, this sounds like a woman who um has all her eggs lined up, you know, all her ducks in a row, basically. Meaning that she says she has savings and stuff like that. She's caught up on bills, and while she's been working, she's been saving a nest egg. Hopefully, because this, you know, anybody with this much confidence has to be in a comfortable position where they know that they're good. You know, so that's one key factor that a lot of people need to know is that, you know, you have to not just be working these jobs and living paycheck to paycheck. If you're not putting back no cash, you know, no hard cash, then 9 times out of 10, if something the unthinkable happens out of nowhere, you get laid off, then now, you know, you ain't been paying your bills and stuff like that, and everything starts to snowball in the wrong direction. But it seems like she's going in a better direction, hopefully. But we'll see. Let's keep it moving.
Start a business? Do I want to create content full time? Do I want to do a combination of 9 to 5 and more content creation? I really get to think about it this time and make my next move my best move without feeling stressed. When I was laid off, while I was disappointed again because I kind of had some indication from my intuition that this was going to happen, I was disappointed because in February, when I was having this feeling, I asked someone who I had a very close working relationship with, and so I thought a great personal relationship with, if I had anything to be concerned about. And that person looked me dead in my face and told me no. Only for a month and a half later for me to be laid off for the very thing that I expressed concern about.
And that's the very thing that a lot of people did wrong, that she does wrong. A lot of people get on these jobs and work them for years, and then, you know, people will sit back on these jobs with you and not necessarily like you, but try to get you to open up about things. And then as soon as you say the wrong thing or something like that, you know, now, you know, they didn't played you out the box. And now she's in a position where she's thinking is that she's about to go and do content creation and get a 9 to 5. That means she's going to be struggling. A 9 to 5 doesn't sound like a 6 figure job. You know, a nine. Let me say that again. A 9 to 5 does not sound like a 6 figure job. And content creation is very difficult. It's not easy. You know, not especially to make 6 figures. You know, a year. So it's crazy.
There are so many things that I passed up on doing because I was too tired from work and I didn't have the mental or physical capacity to do those things. And now I can. And it's crazy that as soon as I was laid off, I was reached out to for a brand collaboration. And I haven't had one of those in ages, in years, literally years. I spoke about the fact that I'm now unemployed on my social media channels, and other brands have reached out to me and wanting to collaborate as well. So
Guys, this lady has 180 subscribers. You know, I'm not knocking her or nothing like that, but You know, there's a lot of people online and stuff like that who tells you that they want to do a brand collaborate, they want to work with you and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, if you only have 180 subscribers, and it's gonna be a long time building this channel before you can make the same type of income that you were pulling in from this job. It might even take a lifetime for her because she's 40. It might take a lifetime for this lady. You know, I'm seeing a lot more people come out and saying that they want to do content creation and that's it's the way and it's the wave. And what I'm seeing is that a lot of people are just so gullible. They're not used to being alone. They're not used to being silent. They're not used to working in their own comfort of their own serenity of being alone and silent, and they need other people to feel validation. They need to communicate, and a lot of times, like that communication don't be no good, bro. It seems like this lady is making a decision that a 18-year-old probably will make talking about content creation. But let's keep it moving.
I'm not a believer that everything happens for a reason. Sometimes shit just be happening just to be happening. And you be like, what the fuck? Like, universe, you could have just kept that, because what was the
And the thing about it is, this lady was working a 6-figure job, and she's online with a Playboy shirt on, and I honestly don't believe she was working for a 6-figure job, honestly, because in the beginning of the video, she only played like 5 seconds of her getting fired. They're like, guys, do not get scammed online. People be portraying to be something that they're not on the gram, on YouTube, Facebook, and etc. Let's keep it moving.
reason? But for me, in this particular situation, I do feel like it happened for a reason, and it was because I desperately needed a recalibration in my life. I desperately needed more work-life balance, and I needed to take a break mentally to decide what's really important in my life and what is it that I really want to do and what's going to make me happy going forward. And I'm so grateful and appreciative that I have time to do that now. So I'm grateful. I'm excited to see what happens next. I don't know exactly what's going to happen next. I do know that I'm going to create more content. This is actually going to be a series on my channel called Housewife with No Husband series.
How can you? And she done lost me. I'm about to end this video. Housewife with No Husband series. And this is part of the reason why she's probably making bad decisions. But the way she's thinking, this is how you should think when you're younger. You know, so you'll be focused throughout your lifetime. You should already know by your mid-20s where you're headed, what you're doing, and you adjust as needed, you know. But that's just my personal opinion. But guys, let me know what you guys think on this lady, on the video. Her source to her YouTube in the description below. And I'm gonna holler at you guys on the next video. Over and out.